What's going on, world? DS1 Ross, and we back here on Sheep Stay Sleep TV. Shout out to everybody who support the platform. Much love, much love, much love. Salute to everybody in the building. If you are here and you can hear me clearly, please put a number one in the chat. Please put a number one in the chat. Let me know if y'all can hear me clearly. Before we get into today's show, let me know if y'all can hear me clearly. Okay. Awesome. Okay. Welcome back to Sheep Stay Sleep TV. I'm your host, DS1 Ross. Of course, I appreciate all the love and the support. Shout out to everyone in the building. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button and share the show. Y'all hit that like button and share today's show. We are going to get right into it. We are going to get right into it today. Shout out to all the visionaries in the chat. I'm going to get to the chat in a minute. Make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the share button, share it on your community tabs, Facebook, Instagram, anywhere that you share content. Make sure y'all share today's show. Make sure y'all share today's show because we are going to get into it. As y'all can see, we are going to get into it. Happy 420 to everyone. Happy 420 to everyone who celebrates this national holiday. Happy 420 to y'all. Let's see who's in the building. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Let's get the likes up. Let's get the shares up. And we're going to get into the show. Let's see who's here. Let's see who's here. Shout out to Miss Angie. Hey, Miss Angie. Shout out to you. Always coming through and holding down the Chizat. Shout out to you, Miss Angie. Astral Atmosphere on the check-in. What's good? What's good, bro? What's good, Bob? Shout out to Bob on the check-in. Shout out to Seth's son on the check-in. Salute. Corey Banks on the check-in. Salute. How you doing, Star Baby? What's going on? Eye of Thunder. Salute. Hey, Miss Camille. Good to see you, Miss Camille. Good to see you. David Owens in the building. What's good? I am who I am. What's good? I am who I am. What's good? What's good? Shout out to everyone, man. Shout out to everyone in the building. Y'all see today's show, man. Y'all see today's show. We're going to get into it. Y'all hit that like button. Y'all hit the share button. Hit the like button. Hit the share button. Y'all see today's show. Before we get into the show, if y'all missed any previous shows, I created a playlist. Go and check the playlist out. Household versus household. Go and check the playlist out if you missed any of the previous shows. I created a playlist so y'all can go and catch any of the previous shows. Y'all can binge watch them. They're right there in a playlist for y'all. So y'all don't got to go back and scroll through all the videos. I put it all in the playlist for you guys. So shout out to y'all. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure y'all share the show. Y'all see today's show. Let's discuss household culture. What you were taught. This is what we're going to talk about today. What is actually taught in most households today? No doubt. Shout out to my man Fierce Soul. Shout out to Fierce Soul on the check-in. Salute. I appreciate your support. Shout out to you, Miss Angie. Here it is in the chat, guys. Miss Angie shared it in the chat. If You missed any shows, there's the playlist. Y'all can just go ahead and click on that in the chat and catch up. But y'all see today's show, man, what you were actually taught. What is actually taught in a household? E313 in the building. Salute. Right? Not just in your household, but we all had friends. You know, we all had some of the similar stories. So let's discuss this. Let's discuss this because we already understand that the whole concept, the whole American household concept is a sham. See, we already discussed that. We already proved that. If you've missed that, Miss Angie posted the playlist, click the playlist, and you can catch up on any other shows. I Am Who I Am says, I'm teaching discipline and time management in my home. You see that? No, I didn't see that. But no doubt, I am who I am. But as I was saying, we know that the whole concept of the quote unquote American household, we know that that's a sham. We know that that's BS. We all know that now that the, cat is out the bag, that this so-called American family structure or concept doesn't even work for the average Caucasian American, let alone for us. It doesn't work for nobody really. And it's because, as we discussed on yesterday's show, just look at the word itself. A household is where we went wrong, because everything that's done is constructed around the word. Everything that's done in that household is done based on the word household. You see? Instead of a house that's whole or a whole house. That's why the activity that's supposed to go on in a whole house doesn't go on in a household. You see? This is why I say we got to pay attention to this stuff. And that's why yesterday I stressed the fact that this concept hasn't just affected Black Americans. It has affected Americans, all types of Americans. This is why no one wants to really have families now. You got women who don't want to be mothers. You got fathers who don't want to be fathers. Men who don't want to be fathers. People are saying they rather just adopt children. Some people rather just be godparents and don't have children at all. It's because of this household dynamic. You see? And today, we're going to talk about what is actually taught, because we're talking about household culture. And when we're talking about culture, we're talking about practices, behaviors, philosophies, ideals. That's the culture. And all of that, the culture is taught to the children who become adults, who became our parents, who became our grandparents, who became our great grandparents. Then we become parents and grandparents and great grandparents and so on and so forth. So now think about all the generations that has taught from that household concept. Think about this. And remember, this is not to play the blame game. This is to understand what happened. See? Because that's how you truly move on from things. When you understand what happened and why it happened. That's how you move on. You don't move on from things by ignoring them and acting like it never existed. Because when you do that, that's when they become more prevalent in your life. If you notice that, when you try to run from your problems, when you just try to say, oh, I'm going to ignore this, you notice the more and more you do that, it pops up more and more. Because it's something that you have to face. And and at the end of the day, what should be better than facing yourself? That's one thing as men we always have to do. We always have to face ourselves. Because that's what gives us the courage to get up and face the world. You see? That's what gives us the courage to get out and to keep going and to keep grinding in the midst of adversity, in the midst of whatever that you're going through, whatever type of adversity you're going through. But you have to face yourself. So you have to face what happened and try your best to figure out why it happened. You see? This stuff is important. This stuff is important. Especially when we're talking about healing and family trauma and healing relationships. Because the first relationships we should be trying to heal is the relationships with ourselves and then the relationship with our loved ones. You see? Because this goes back to what? The household. Who was in the household with you? This is what I spoke on yesterday. Everyone in the household is affected. Everyone. See, this goes back to the household. You see? And in the Black community, a lot of us was taught in our household, right? We were taught to basically not deal with certain things that will, quote unquote, create a problem. This is one serious thing that was taught. Don't bring up shit that could stir up shit. Y'all sound off in the chat room. Don't bring up nothing to make nobody feel offended. And it don't even have to be nothing directly at nobody. It could just be something that you brought up, something that hurt you. And now it's a problem. That's a problem. See, that is a sign that we're coming from a household and not a whole house. Because the whole house is supposed to listen and get down to what was just said. But in a household, it's like, oh, I don't want to hear. Why we gotta hear this? I don't want to hear this. This is old. No, it don't matter how old it is. This person is in our family and they've been holding household. They've been holding this shit in for too long. Because guess what? This why they don't come to your goddamn house. You see how shit works? Hey, isn't that ironic? Isn't that ironic? That's why they don't come to your house. Because they always got to hold who they are inside. This is why they don't come around you. This is why they don't come in your house. Because you always got their feelings and what they think on hold. You know, they can't express themselves because you're going to be offended. This is why they don't come to your house. Because they on hold. And this will create family separation. You go this way, I go my way, you go your way, and whatever. See that? And this is what we were taught, because it goes back to don't say no shit that's going to stir up any shit. And this is what make people go their separate ways. Because if I can't be myself, why be around? See? If I'm not going to be accepted for who I am, why be around? You see? And what happens is what's subliminally taught is abandonment. Because the person never gets what they're saying or their issues addressed. They get ignored and bloviated off. Oh man, and then it's like, well, what happened to my issue? See this? How many of y'all are familiar with this? Boot camp in the building. What's good, Fear Soul? Boogeyman, salute. Shout out to my brother, the underrated Darkness in the building. Salute, my brother. What's good, Dion? Mo Plumbing, salute. Hold up, I missed the super chat. Shout out to who I am. I appreciate the super chat, bro. I appreciate it. What's good, Splash? Hey, Nicer. What's going on? Shout out to everybody in the building. My man Boogeyman on the check-in. Black Hawk. You see? This is what's subliminally now taught. That when somebody in the house has an issue that they want addressed and they need help with, they are now met with doubt, a bunch of questioning and just being thrown off and being pushed away. What type of adult does that person become? See? If this starts from a child, what type of person does this become as an adult? This is why y'all hear me say we got to heal before we build. We don't think about this though, because we never really sat down and thought about that household concept, because we always thought the household was something good and comfy until we found out that the household was some toxic shit. And it wasn't just toxic for Black people, it's toxic for everybody. They got the same stories, the same shit, because it was a household. It was never a house that was whole with healthy, progressive thinking and loving people. It don't take you to live in a $300,000 house to have a person like that. You see? But that's what we were taught, because as Black people, we grew up poor. So we thought the money equated to positivity, productivity, character. That's what we equated riches with. We equated riches with character. Oh, he gotta be a good person. I know he give back thousands of dollars. Says who? He could be the slimiest, filthiest, dirtiest scum of the earth. And this is what we know now. In these, white, suburban, American homes, households. We found out. Yeah, daddy owned a bunch of shit, but he's a piece of shit. Let's go into that a little bit. Do y'all know that's why a lot of these, Caucasian women, that's why they go play around with other men too. They do that to get back at their dads. Y'all know that, right? Y'all know that, right? Because that's where that R word was taught. Yeah. The racism, that's where it was taught. The prejudice, the bias, the hatred, it was taught in the household. That's where it was taught. Don't like him because of the color of his skin. That was taught in the household, not in the whole house. In a household. So because this is, see, the men and the women who had that level of hatred in them, that's why they taught hatred. See, a household. That hatred got a hold on them. So they taught it to have a hold on you. You see? So you could run around here and just be low level and be a scumbag. See? It's a household. Mr. D, salute. He say, wish I could give more because of your knowledge. It's worth a band. Man, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Appreciate your support. Hey, Taylor. What's going on? Cartel in the building. What's good, Cartel? You see? This is where this stuff is taught. In the household. You see? This is where it's taught. All of that shit. Where you think Lil Pearl, where you think she learned her tactics from? And the way she moved, she learned it. This is what she was taught in the household. This is what she watched Her mother and her father do. She was taught this in the household. She was taught to look at black people the way she do. She was taught that. Not only by her parents, but by the people she was around, the culture of the people she was around, because the culture of those people is prejudice, is racist. So this is what she's going to display. You see? This is what she was taught in her household. The household. But look at how that's coming back to bite her in her ass. Just like it's coming back to bite a lot of these people. All of these bigots, all of these racist people, all of these people preaching hatred. And that's on both sides. Look at what's happening. Look at what's happening to them. That house has had a hold on them. And that hold, if you don't release it after a while, it'll destroy you. It'll pull you down. It'll pull you under and drown you. This is why they say you can be consumed by your hatred. Because eventually it will pull you down. It will destroy your brand. It will destroy your business. Oh, yeah. The things you were taught in that household that you have made culture. You see, we talk about the household culture. You see? What have what we have made normal? What we've made normal in the black household. In a regular black household, it is normal. It is normal, right? And let's just be honest here. Men and women. It is normal to not discuss when you've lost your virginity. Sound off in the chat room. Is that normal? Is that normal? Or is that something that is usually just figured out eventually over time by your parents? Or if you decide to tell them if something happened, like if you start itching down there or something. Y'all sound off in the chat room. Sound off in the chat. Y'all let me know. Anthony Touchstone, salute. I appreciate the super chat, bro. He said, shout out to you, DS1, and everyone in the chat. Keep teaching the truth and wellness, my brother. Salute. Salute. Yes, sir. He said, yes, sir, it is. Yes, sir, it is. It's always avoided. And we're talking about the guys and the girls. Because what? Because what? Sex is taboo in the black household. Sex is taboo in the black household. Sex is not openly spoken about. None of this stuff. It is not expressed in a healthy way. It is not taught in a healthy way, in an educational way. No, it's not. Sex is taboo. You don't want to keep talking about it. You definitely don't want your parents to know you're doing it. You just hope they figure it out. True or false? And this goes for the guys and the girls. It's not just for the girls, it's for us too. See, a lot of times I know a lot of y'all think it's not no pressure around sex for men, but it is. It is, especially when it comes to talking about sex. Why do you think there's more, statistically, there's more guys who don't say nothing when they're touched? Because it's even, it's even not more common for men to talk about sex, let alone girls. Girls will talk about it before us. You see? Especially if something happens, in a negative way sexually. Some girls hold it for a long time, but a lot of girls, they'll say something. They'll tell somebody. Some guys never say nothing. Some guys never say nothing until they older guys. Some guys, the first time they admit it to the woman that they marry. Because sex is taboo in the Black household. Why? 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 See, we got to get to the why. You got to get to the why. Why is it that? Why? Should it be? Do y'all think sex should be taboo in the household? No, excuse me. Do y'all think sex will be taboo in a house that was whole? And why do y'all think sex is taboo in a household? Anthony Touchstone says, true, you get penalized if you was to mention sexual conversations. Yeah, if you was, yeah, of course. Hell yeah. especially if you're a millennial, every little thing is, hey, you better not be being fresh. Every little thing. Boys and girls. You better not be dancing no type of way. You better not be dancing too close around them. None of that shit. That's why the millennials, we did a lot of sneaking around. We did a lot of sneaky shit. We were the sneaky generation. We did a lot of sneaky stuff, especially when it came to shit like that. Because in the household, sex is taboo, man. It is. Even now, I just saw some young girls on my Facebook. She don't know how to handle that little girls like her son. Like, why don't you sit down and have a conversation? It's just like, no, because it's taboo. And we have to stop this. We have to stop doing this. Because all they're going to do is sneak and do it like we did. Like your mama did. Like her mama did. But when we going to stop doing that? You want to stop having accident babies? Then stop making it taboo. Stop making it something that's so big and gross and blown out of proportion. Because it wasn't that when you were doing it. Let's sit down and have a real, practical conversation so we can get to a real solution. So we can provide a real solution to these children. So we can provide them a healthier environment, a whole house. So they don't feel confined. So if something happens to them, they don't be afraid to tell because they're afraid of what you gonna think because of their household. See that? When you provide them the space to talk, to feel comfortable, this is how we get better results. This is how we begin to develop better people. It's not just something that we're going to talk about. It's something that we actually have to implement. And it's going to start with us confronting the root issues. So it's going to take some of us going back to some shit that we don't want to look at. But if we want to save our goddamn great grandchildren, what you going to do? If you want to save some generations from some bullshit, that's the least you can do. Goddamn, black people, we don't have that much money. So why are we sitting back focused on leaving our kids all this money? No, why don't you clean up some trauma? Because if we start cleaning up some of this trauma, right? Because we do know that spiritual value and wealth is connected. So if we clear up some of this spiritual trauma, some of this spiritual mess, it'll free generations of our children up to make and go after money. Because they're not 10 years behind, 15 years behind, 5 years behind in debt. They don't have to worry about that. Because they're not trying to clean up some shit from 3 generations ago. Why don't we do that? So these generations don't have to worry about that and they could go get the bag and focus on just getting the education to get the money. So they don't got to worry about that household mess. They're already coming up in a great environment with people who love them, with people who are encouraging them, motivating them, feeding them right, feeding their minds right. Now he want to go be a doctor. He don't want to go be the next T.I., the rapper. He don't want to be Gucci Man. See, he want to go. He want to go be the next Ben Carson. He want to go do something bigger. Adam Clayton Powell. He want to go do something bigger because his mind was able to develop. Do y'all know? Let me say this. A lot of these children that y'all think want to be rappers, they don't want to be rappers. They want to hustle because they want to take care of their family and get their family away from the hood, so they families don't die. These kids don't want to be rappers. A lot of these other kids, if they was put in the proper environments, they'll be engineers. They'll be creating robots and shit. They wouldn't be rapping, talking about they got a 30 and they got a Drake. Where's my cake? They wouldn't be talking this shit. It's that household. It's that household that has forced them to make certain decisions. Just like their parents' household forced them to make certain decisions. See, it's generational. It's generational. But what generation is going to stop it? When is it going to stop? See? We got to change what's being taught and the way it's being taught. Shout out to the OG Mace. What's good, Mace? Cartel says fact. STEM is where it's at now. Right. But how many of our children, Cartel, minds are even geared towards STEM? We got to start. We have to create that environment where STEM things are seen, are where STEM activities are fun, where STEM activities don't seem like we're in school. We have to create this environment. That's why I say we got to heal. We got to heal. We got to change what's taught. We've been teaching this money shit. Money, 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 money. But what is that doing to the quality of our children? You see what I'm saying? We teaching all this money shit. But what is that doing to the character of our boys? What is that doing to the mindset of the little girl who think it's all about a bag from the time she's 5 years old? What are you creating in your household? See, we got away from that. We got away from that. And see, the people who created this American household concept, they knew you would, because you focus on going to goddamn work and paying the bills. So you're not focused on what's being cooked up. You're not focused on that, because all you're trying to do is make sure these bills and these shit stay on. You focused on the maintenance. And this is what that household concept is about. See? That's why it's never no real growth. See? This is why. Because we're not in the proper environment for the STEM mind to develop. These kids are not in the proper environment. They're not around the proper people with the right mindsets. See, they're around adults who still in the hustle and bustle mindset. They're around adults who still chasing a bag and chasing looking to be cute. So that's why you want them to go and join and do this little shit. So you can show off. Ha 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 ha. Look at But years down the line, what did that actually mean? Nothing. See, this is what we got to start thinking about. And this is the job of the men, because we are the ones with the foresight. Nigga, will the NBA be here in 40 years? Do you know that? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about this now. Now let's get into it. Y'all hit the like button and share the show. Let's talk about this. When we teaching certain shit in our households and teaching shit to our children, we got to use our foresight. Nigga, is the NBA going to be here in 40 years? You expect your child to be alive though, right? So you going to tell him to put all his goddamn life in the basketball, nigga? Huh? That ain't for his mama to figure out. That's for you, you the man. You the one with the foresight. See, all his mama see is the Chanel store. That's what she's supposed to see. That's his mama. Hey, baby, congratulations. Yeah, let's go shopping. That's his mama. Let his mama be his mama. What about you, nigga? You his father. You supposed to see all the way down the goddamn road. You. Is it gonna be there in 40 years? So, son, what you gonna do? Huh? You know we gonna you know we gonna make some other moves with this bread, right? Yeah, I know you're in the NBA, but we gotta look somewhere else because it's looking spooky in the next 10 years. So would you let's go figure something else out, son. You see? You see? But see, we wouldn't even have to do that, fellas, if it's already taught that you don't even assume that position. You don't even go that route. We did that. You see that? We did that. Let me put the tip in. Salute. Right, Taylor. Right. We did that. We did that. Brown Hornet in the building. He said, I always admire what you stood for. And I like this household series. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you, Brown Hornet. Salute. I appreciate your support. Yes, sir. You see? Hey, fellas, your sons that rap. Ain't nothing wrong with rapping. There's nothing wrong with having musical talent. There's nothing wrong with having physical athleticism and all. It's nothing wrong with these things. But we have to be real. Will the NBA be here in 40 years? Will the music industry, with the way that it's going now, how long would it be here before you think you could go get a record deal, son? Huh? We got to be honest. We got to be honest. How long? Now, I know you love to rap. How long do you think Leo Cohen got left to live? And that's no shots, and I'm not even being funny. But how long do you think Leo Cohen got to live? How long do you think Clive and them gonna be around? Todd Moskowitz and all. How long do you think these people gonna be around handing out record deals, son? You see, this is the conversation when you're in a house that's whole. You see, these are the conversations that are not had anymore, or rarely had for some of us. Nicer says, "What's up? What's up, Nicer? I appreciate you." Taylor says the music industry is done. You can't tell a lot of these young boys that though, or these young girls. Yes, sir. It's our job as men to give reality to our children. Yes, yes, yes. But we also got to we got to be in touch with that reality. A lot of our brothers were out of touch, man. We're going along to get along. We're sheep. And what do you think that's going to make our children and has made our children? See, we got to understand the only way it's going to stop or things are going to change if we change what's taught. Do you want? I hear a lot of us saying, man, why are children always thinking about violence? Why are children always, okay, stop. You know why your son always thinking about violence? Number one, we're not going to talk about rap yet. We're not going to talk about the music yet. Because y'all, that's the first thing a lot of y'all run to. You know where your son get his violent ways from and his quiet, you know, weird tendencies that you question? How about you ever thought about those army games you always buying them? Did you ever think about that? His violence, his violent streak. Yeah. Call of Duty. Zombies. Not rap. We not talking about, we didn't get to Chief Keef yet. He didn't even put Chief Keef on. He turned the game on first. See, these children listen to the music on the game. This is why a lot of them have headphones in too. They listening to the music. So while they killing, right? They listening to Lil Durk. They listening to Triple X. Yeah. While they killing on the game. Y'all want to blame rap. What about that game that you buy over Christmas after Christmas after Christmas? Yeah, that's why he like AR-15s. That's why he like guns. That's why he like guns. It's not because he listened to Chicago drill rap. It's because you bought every goddamn Grand Theft Auto and Call of Duty. Oh, we ain't think about that though, right? You teaching violence. He sit up all night and kill people on a video game. Oh, am I overreacting, guys? Y'all want to throw it on right, King Von. y'all want to put it on King Von. Right. But while he's listening to the King Von story, he's on the video game with 100 kills. But then they call King Von the first rap serial killer. But your son is on the game every night committing mass shootings on the game. It's just a game. Right? But this is the shit that's taught. This is what you teaching. You don't know that though. You don't know that. This is what's taught. That's why he got a short temper. He got a short fuse. Because he ready to do what he do every day in that game. He ready to do it in real life. So you think these little boys don't run around like that? I'm going to tell you that we do. Because I was a little boy and me and my friends was geeked up off of shit. What you think these little boys geeked up off of? Call of Duty. That's why they love military firearms. That's why these young boys run around with drums attached to their 9mm. Because those are the guns they shoot in the game. You see? Those are guns they shoot in the game. 50-shot drums, 100-shot drums, AR-15s, AR pistols, all the guns you see on the street is in the game. They shooting them on the game. These young boys know how to shoot and operate firearms from the video game. But then we go say, oh, it's drill rap. No, it's the video game. It's the game. It's the game. How you think he know how to Drop the clip out. He not a these boys know how to load and unload guns faster than they know how to finish their goddamn homework. Chief Keef ain't teach them that. Drill rap didn't teach them that. The game did. The game. Xbox. PS5. Yeah, that's who taught them. You know who taught them about the dark web? The video game. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. That game you keep buying them over and over. Why you think these boys love that shit? Why you think these young boys don't go outside? They'll just sit in the house all day and play it because it's a world within the world. You're teaching criminality because y'all don't understand shit about the. Let me. y'all don't understand shit about this system, man. Let me just say that. But y'all don't understand what these boys are learning on these games and why they learning them and how they learning and how they're learning about the world and how the world really works. See, because that's the fastest way to figure out how this world works is through the military. These young boys don't even got to go now. They'll just sit in front of the game and study the game. Study war. See that? We got to be careful. Just sitting that game in front of them. Because you don't know what's being taught. You can be breeding a mass shooter when you just think it's a game. You see this? This is that household. Because who doesn't play a game? Who doesn't want video games in a household? Come on now. Come on, DS1. Are you trying to say we're not allowed to play video games? Come on, DS1. No, that's not what I'm saying. It's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is these young boys, especially our young men, they need to understand what they're interacting with. They need to understand how serious it is. No, son, it is not just a game. It is not. And shout out to my comrade, man. Shout out to my brother, the Book of Ronan, because I like how he has no issue with explaining certain things in certain ways of the military, man. You see, like our young boys that's into these games, and they need to understand that they're not playing just a game. It's something serious. And we know it's something serious because we see how serious you boys take this shit. We see how your mood changes up. We see how your walk changes up. We see. We see. We see how you develop a level of toughness from playing this game. See, we gotta explain this to them. We can't just throw them in front of the game and walk away. They need to know. They need to know. They need to know. They need to know. And they don't only need to know the severity of things, but they also need to know that you're there if anything goes wrong. See, this is why I'm not saying take the game away, but parental advisory is something that has went away. Let's just be honest. That shit is like null and void. It's like, oh man, oh, it ain't nothing. See, because, and I'm gonna say this for us as Black people, we rather our children watch violence than watch sex. See? You could watch that action movie. You could watch Arnold run around and slaughter a bunch of people. But when them titties pop out, you better close your eyes. You just saw somebody get their head blown off. You just watched somebody get decapitated. But I can't see no titties, Ma. Really? I just saw this man kill 100 people. I can't see no titties, Ma. Really? What is that? Now, I'm not saying one is better than the other. I'm just saying what we were allowed to be exposed to versus what's taboo when it both should be. It both should be. You see? You see? Or how about neither is taboo? We just sit down and talk about it. So you understand what things are. So there's no fear when you're interfacing with it, and you understand what you're interfacing with, which will then lead to our children making better decisions. Then we don't have to put the goddamn handcuffs on them. Oh, you better not get a boyfriend. You better not kiss that boy because he gonna want to have sex. Just putting handcuffs. And when a person feel like you trying to handcuff them, guess what they're gonna do? They're gonna find a way to sneak around and do it anyway. So let's stop making these things taboo. Let's change the environment from a household to a house that's whole. You see? Then as children, we have more than one person to go to. So we don't just got to go to mom to feel safe or go to dad to feel safe. You see what I'm saying? We could go to auntie. We could go to grandpa. We could go to our uncles. We could go to our cousins because we know we're going to get sound advice from everyone because what we all come from, we come from a whole house, a house that was whole. So there is no one misleading no one to become like me. And because I fail, I want the young women to do what I do. There is none of that. There is no, yeah, son, you need to be a pimp and you need to be tricking these women and you need to be manipulating these women. See, it's none of that. It's none of that. In the house that's whole. See, in a household, when you are whole, you always gonna look for somebody to get over on. Because in a household, somebody always feel like they're lacking in somewhere. Somebody always feel neglected in a household, but not in a house that's whole. Because in a house that's whole, everyone's included. No matter your social status, your marital status, your financial status. Because in a house that's whole, the people around you can help you and motivate you so those situations can change. But if you notice, that don't really happen in Black households because everybody's in there on hold. And if I'm on hold, I'm going to make sure you be on hold. I'm going to make sure I put you on hold because you're not going to be free before me. You're not going to get past me. See, this is that household mentality. This is where the competition comes in. Because you feel like you lacking something. And then everyone's like, well, I got mine, so you got to get yours. You know, that's that household shit. Self University, salute, bro. Shout out to my man, Brother Love. What's good, Brother Love? Yeah, Call of Duty is their daddy. Absolutely. Outrageous TV, man. Salute. Lotus Divine. What's good, Lotus Divine? What's good? You see? In the house that's whole, everyone's included. Everyone's issues matter. We have time to get to everyone's gripes because we're going to make sure we make time. I don't care what we got to do, even if we got to put business on hold. Because guess what's more important? The family. That's what's more important. That's what's more important. The development of this family. We can always make more money. And the way we're developing these people, our family are going to make money for the next 20 goddamn generations. See, we can do that, Black people. We could do that. We can do that. If we stop thinking with this household mentality and start thinking like we a whole goddamn house and stop playing this big eyes and little you game. You see that? So shout out to everyone, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning into today's show. What's good, Akuma? It's been a minute, man. Salute. You might have to catch the replay, man. I appreciate everyone for tuning into today's show. Shout out to everyone. If you would like to donate, this is the time. You can donate. The Cash App is going across the screen along with the Venmo and the PayPal. Shout out to everyone in the building. Shout out to everyone who has donated. If you hit the super chat, if you hit the Cash App, it is very much appreciated, man. It is very much appreciated. It's Akuma says, I've been saying lately, just because you work to make more money doesn't mean you work to improve the people around you. No offense intended, but absolutely, it's the truth. It's not to offend anyone, but it's the truth. And we see it time and time. We see it in society every day. You know, the mental health epidemic is not what it is for a reason. It's there because of what you actually just stated, Akuma. That is the family dynamic now. Exactly what you just said. Akuma says, just outside getting some sun on this 420. No doubt. I already was out there, man. It's about 90 degrees where I'm at now. So I'm gonna definitely get back out there though, for sure. I appreciate that, Miss Angie. Shout out to you. I appreciate you for holding down the Chizat as always. I appreciate all the mods for always coming through and holding down the Chizat, supporting your brother DS1 Ross. I appreciate all the visionaries, everyone who came through to today's show. If you are new here, don't forget to subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you are notified every time I drop some new content right here on Sheep Stay Sleep TV. Shout out to you, Lotus Divine. I appreciate it. Miss Angie dropped the link to the playlist. So if you missed any episodes to this series, you can click the playlist section, household versus household, and you can find all of the episodes there. I appreciate y'all for tuning in once again. Thank you, Miss Camille. Great to see you. Great to see you again. And I'm going to catch y'all on the next one, man. Y'all enjoy y'all 420. Y'all enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. DS1 Ross, Sheep Stay Sleep TV, and I'm out. Peace.